what reminded me that anime was for kids. I basically figured out over the time that I thought anime was for young, mature adults, which yes, it is, but it isn't. I figured out that even though it's more mature than some Western media, there's a lot of things in anime that lets everybody know it's for kids. Now, let me get this straight. Now, we all grew up loving Dragon Ball Z, but the problem with people is when they mature, they want something overwhelming, like Dragon Ball Z. I grew up in a time where Dragon Ball Z was the only exception for anything in anime, Asian related, period. It's like, I'll watch the fuck out of Dragon Ball Z, but I won't touch Naruto. I won't touch Naruto because one is too long, and even before it was too long, the action doesn't compare to Dragon Ball Z, so why the fuck would I watch Naruto when I could watch classic DBZ? And that is where the world fucked up. It's not overwhelming you, it's not doing none of the stuff they used to do, but one thing it is doing is giving you perspective. Naruto is heavily strategy based, when Dragon Ball Z is a lot of kung fu. Mighty Mask is a prime example of why Dragon Ball Z has childish tendencies. You ever see the end of an anime like Bleach, Black Clover, Mob Psycho, etc., and you see the little paper cutout at the end of each and every episode? Yeah, that reminds you that anime is for kids. Let me tell you through this procedure that when you view anime, you must understand that it is understandable for someone who is 15 and up. And yes, it appeals to all audiences. Everyone can relate to anime, but why do you have to recognize that it is just fictional at the end of the day? Well, let's put it this way. I've lived through a lot of anime philosophies that never turned out okay, like my old friend Arturo. The Naruto and Sasuke effect, where Naruto always chases after Sasuke even though he doesn't give a shit about him. Real life stories will never be just like anime stories, not just because they're scripted, but because people do not care. They don't give a fuck about you. If anyone says you gotta care about yourself more than anyone else, is why you can't be giving and loving like in anime. You can't be Goku in real life. You can't be sparing the enemy because people will take advantage of that, like Frieza, instead of actually, you know, accepting your help. You're not gonna be in a position of power all the time to spare people's life to a point where they're not gonna catch you off guard and they're not gonna shoot you behind your back. That's always gonna happen. You have to understand there are chances when you give people multiple chances in life, and because you keep on feeling sorry for them, they will take advantage of it. After all that time you worked hard for it to try to get them to change, they turn their back on you as soon as they catch you off guard. That's how real life works. Anybody tries to tell you different, they're smoking essence. Life is continuous. It's not like you beat the final guy in anime. Ooh, I beat my toughest opponent yet, and then everything falls into place and live happily ever after. No. You see, when I faced those problems, they ran out. In real life, you can train over and over and over again to beat the strongest person, and guess what happens? When you finally get to that level to beat them, they back out. Like, every excuse is, oh, I already beat you, so there's no reason why you have to try to rematch me. Basically, these are people who haven't even fought you in your prime yet. When they face you in their prime, what it is you're never gonna get to take out each tournament you want. You're never gonna be able to work hard for something because life doesn't work that way. What life does is life puts you in a position where you're faced against people who are always lower than you, so you never feel like you are competing against something that's worth it. Yeah, I may have beat the whole competition, but this ain't shit compared to what I had to deal with. I used to be low of the lowest of the low. And now the highest of the high that used to be the highest of the high is the lowest of the low. And the reason why that is because they didn't want to lose their champion position. Me, I've lost my champion position over and over and over again. I had to regain it. That is how you live life, okay? There are a bunch of people in your fucking way. It's not like you continue the same fucking storyline and this boss after boss. No. That shit doesn't work in real life. You eventually will become the boss of your own life, and it won't be challenging, and nobody's gonna try to stand in your way because they're all scared of you, because in real life, people are pussies. In real life, when people see you having the same tools as them, they start getting incredibly mad, they start getting incredibly jealous, they start doing every fucking thing in their power to try to beating you down behind scenes because they can't see you face on. You will never get that competition you see in anime in real life. That's a fact. It came down to a point when I finally practiced and I got good and we were both in our prime, there was no excuses. And when there was no excuses is when they left. I'm talking about the Animation Rap League. I'm talking about everything. Every single competition I've got into has literally fucking turned its back on me as soon as it got good. Oh, it's not so fun anymore because the low tier became the highest. David became Goliath. And now no one wants to face David because now he's the same size as everyone. So you're telling me that you can only pick on handicapped people, but you can't pick on people the same height as you? Like Justin, right? Justin made the excuse that I was handicapped, but when it came to a real fight, he backed out. It took 1 year for me to train in order to beat him. And once he realized that I could beat him, he ran away. Like I said, when you get the same tools as people, I had a wooden plank after he hit me in the head with a baseball bat. Now we have equivalent weapons. Now he wants to dip. Now he wants to leave. Now he wants to be scared like a little bitch after talking all that shit. That is what real life is about. Anime will never be like that. I'm gonna tell you right now that once you surpass pussy, you will never view anime the same way again. The same way at all. You know, here's what happened. I ended up making love to a girl who cosplayed a girl from Black Lagoon. And most people look at it at face value. Oh, because it has guns and shit. This is the most gangster anime of all time. I'm like, no. When I saw Black Lagoon was at a time where I was already a grown-ass man. I was already a grown man. And what I was viewing was a girl that's cussing a lot. Now, when you're younger, when you're 15 and 14, which anime is based off of, anime is based off that age bracket. So when I matured and I had a couple of children, when I viewed Black Lagoon, everybody's like, Remy is the most badass female character in anime. She uses guns, she cusses, she caps. I'm like, dude, all that is covering up for the fact that she's just a little girl. All those guns aren't gonna make up for the fact that she is lost in life. All that cussing is her trying to be mature when she's not. I can see right through that instantly. I can see through all that shit. I was already a grown man when I saw it, so I'm like, dude, Revy ain't shit. Revy is fucking nothing. Like, the gunplay she uses may be cool, but at the end of the day, that's just for show. How does she feel on the inside? I don't give a fuck how strong you are. I don't give a fuck what record you have. I don't give a fuck how many feats you have in life. How you treat yourself inside is gonna reflect to other people. Real recognize real, and that's a fact. That will always be a fact. And I've proven this. I've proven this over and over again. Because my baby mama cosplayed as Revy from Black Lagoon, and everybody saw me grab her ass and she got blackballed, and literally, that is what I'm trying to tell you. That's the difference between shonen and real life. That is the difference between real life and anime. Everybody's like, dude, you just got away with grabbing the best girl in anime. I'm like, dude, it wasn't shit. I already had a kid with her. That's why I was able to do it. You had a kid with Revy, and I'm all like, dude, it's not that much of a milestone. And that right there reminded me why anime is for kids. Me going to conventions after I already became a father, me seeing nerds being stuck in the same position I was back when I was in high school is what reminded me that anime was for kids. Anime was literally a great premise for me, but I realized real life still exists. And when you're in your own little world and you're thinking that anime is everything, is where a lot of people fuck up, because real life will never turn out that way. It will never be the way that you want it to be. It literally, because here's how the world works. Life doesn't get you what you want. Life gives you what you train hard for it. And another thing that I don't like about anime in real life where people get fucked up is Fullmetal Alchemist. It's Scribbly Exchange. Oh my fucking god, that is the biggest heap of bullshit anyone could ever tell you. If Scribbly Exchange existed, then white people and black people would have equal rights and be treated equal in society. What the fuck is this Scribbly Exchange? We're the stronger species and we're treated like shit? All due to positions and connections? How the fuck is that a Scribbly Exchange? People are all like, oh, but Scribbly Exchange is how you got out of specific situations. Like, no. It's because I put in the work. is why I got out of situations. I have nothing to do with fucking anime. People are all like, oh, girls stood up for you when they try to label you a predator, and that's a scribbly exchange. I'm like, no, I put in the work, and it is not a scribbly exchange because I beat you by 75 fucking percent if you actually want to do your homework. You guys didn't have anything on me. I already have a couple of kids, and you guys are trying to bring me down when you haven't even reached level 1. How the fuck is that a scribbly exchange? You're not giving yourself the chance to win. You have to understand that a scribbly exchange works in that because it is a shonen, because it is an anime. In real life, that's not gonna work. Because if it did, I would have been had what I wanted. I wouldn't have had to go through the struggles I had to go through if life gave you what you work hard for, right? What life does is life teaches you maybe what you work hard for isn't worth it. And I learned that when I started going to conventions. And another thing that is really crucial in anime that you must never believe is believe it. Believe it is the biggest hunk of bullshit anyone can ever tell you, because you can say believe it all you fucking want. Now this is when a gun does come into play. If you're back in the fucking corner and you have no way fucking out, and someone pulls the trigger to your head when you yell, then you're gonna die. But a smart person would duck under the arm that has the gun pointed to his head, break that fucking arm, kick him in the nuts, and literally point that gun to his neck and repulse the situation. If you believe that God is gonna save you from a situation that you can get yourself out of, then you're full of shit. You can believe in God, but you can't believe that God's gonna do everything for you just because you say believe it. No, you have to put in the fucking work. And even if you have to put in the work, you have to understand sometimes you have to do wrong. You can't be good all the time and win. Sometimes you have to do bad in order to do good. There is no such thing as everyone getting away with life without committing a sin. That is fucking impossible. Nobody can live a straight line in life without going through some really, really tragic shit unless they're a fruitcake. If society protects you, if society makes excuses for you, that means you're a fucking loser. Because anybody who makes excuses for you when you know you're wrong yourself is a fucking loser. And misery loves company. And we live in a community where we don't like Shippuden, because Shippuden is more real than part 1 Naruto. Let me break this down to you. What about, how can I be Hokage if I can't even save my friend? Doesn't sound better than believe it and everything will come true. Get the fuck out. Nobody likes Shippuden because of Naruto who's being realistic of the situation. He's analyzing it. After all those years in training, he still gets dogged by fucking Sasuke. And worst of all, he gets dogged by Sasuke from Sasuke learning to do something wrong. What the fuck is it being on the side of good when being bad gets you so much more powerful? Naruto really saw the full story when he saw Jiraiya, when Sasuke was spitting game to him. Sasuke was all like, how can you understand how I feel when you never had a family? And the closest thing to a family member died, which is Jiraiya, happened to Naruto. Naruto's like, oh, I understand how you feel now. After talking all that shit, being arrogant, saying, I'll bring you back to the village, even though it's going to break every single bone in your body. Even if it means breaking every single bone in your body. I'm like, so you really want to have a disabled Sasuke? You're speaking at this out pure rage instead of logic. You want a half-assed Sasuke. What would happen if Naruto actually brought Sasuke back and his bones were broken? He would piss Sakura off. He would literally do all this shit for nothing. It's like, dude, you worked all that hard. You surpassed all those limits for something that wasn't worth it. That is how real life would have turned out if they would have let that fairy tale plan out. Now, Sakura would have been like, this wasn't the Sasuke I wanted. And you have to understand, when you grow up and when you live a life like that, you have to understand that anime is for kids. Now, that doesn't mean you can't enjoy anime. What I love about anime is that I can relate to the real shit. I know what to pay attention to do and what to recognize as kid shit. You living happily ever after by being the final boss is never gonna happen. That's a video game, buddy. In real life, you are gonna be your own boss that you're gonna have to surpass over and over again, because most people are full of shit. I'm gonna say that right, plain and simple. Most people are full of shit, and they will be cowardly because a lot of people who have ambition are encouraged not to go that far in their career. that's a topic for another video. But yeah, this is Mootrix, and this is why I remembered why anime was for kids.